Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Yashoda Nandana Rajana Ranjana, Yamuna Tiravanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga, Nityananda. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Continuing reading from Bhagavad-Gita. Here's God. Look at, there's God. It's Krishna. You just saw God. It's Krishna. See, you guys, you can see God every single day. Some people think like you have to die and go to heaven to see God. Hari Bol. You don't have to die to see God. You just got to look at Krishna's picture, because Krishna is absolute, God's absolute, right? So like looking at a picture of Krishna or seeing the deity, that's, you're seeing God. Most people don't really realize this. Now, is it different to actually like see God face to face and talk to him? Yeah, of course. But you know what I'm saying? You get it? All right. We're reading from Haribol NK SPD. We're reading from Bhagavad-Gita As It Is. I'm starting through the introduction. I just read like 2 pages a day because, that's just what I do. And then I read like 2 pages of Krishna book because it takes like, 10 to 20 minutes. And then I go on with the rest of my day. Bhagavad-Gita As It Is. Vedic knowledge is not a question of research. Our research work is imperfect because we are researching things with imperfect senses, just like the scientists, right? Their knowledge is imperfect, guys. Scientists don't know everything in the world because they're researching things with imperfect senses. They only know so much. They only know as much as they can with their limited brains, with their limited vision, with their limited everything, with their limited senses. They know what they know. Now, do they know more than like the average man? Yeah, they know some more stuff, but they're limited in what they know. Okay, but some of the people are walking around like they're God, like they know everything, right? It's crazy. We have to accept perfect knowledge, which comes down, as is stated in Bhagavad Gita, and by the Parampara disciplic succession. We have to receive knowledge from the proper source in disciplic succession, beginning with the supreme spiritual master, the Lord himself. Yeah, there's a whole Parampara, right? It starts with Krishna, and then it goes down to like the living spiritual masters, the gurus, right, that are living on the planet. Which part of the world are you? I'm American. I'm from America. So yeah, but I also lived in India for many years. I was a monk. I was like a full-time monk in the Hare Krishna movement, so I did that for a while. I lived in Sri Vrindavan for many years. But then it's like, I decided I needed to build my career, because I didn't want to be a monk my whole life. So I had to come back to America and build my career, Let's see, where was I? So we have to receive knowledge from the proper source. Yeah. So the proper source, Krishna, and then it comes down, it comes to Arjuna, and then the living gurus that are part of that disciplic succession, the gurus that are walking the planet today, they are part of the parampara, right? Now, I was never initiated, but I consider Srila Prabhupada my guru because this is who gives me the most inspiration. Okay. Even Srila Prabhupada at one point, he said, just by reading his books, you become initiated, right? There's a quote like that. So there is a quote like that. We have to receive knowledge from the proper source in disciplic succession, beginning with the spiritual master, the Lord himself, and handed down to a succession of spiritual masters. Arjuna, the student who took lessons from Lord Sri Krishna, accepts everything that he says without contradicting him. One is not allowed to accept one portion of Bhagavad-Gita and not another. No, we must accept Bhagavad-Gita without interpretation, without deletion, and without our own whimsical participation in the matter. The Gita should be taken as the most perfect presentation of Vedic knowledge. Vedic knowledge is received from transcendental sources, and the first words were spoken by the Lord himself. The words spoken by the Lord are different from words spoken by a person of the mundane world who is infected with the four defects. A mundaner. Are you a mundaner? A mundaner is sure to commit mistakes. Yeah, I guess we're mundaners because we all make mistakes. Is invariably illusioned and has a tendency to cheat others and is limited by imperfect senses. With these four imperfections, one cannot deliver perfect information of all pervading knowledge. Vedic knowledge is not imparted by such defective living entities. It was imparted into the heart of Brahma, the first created living being, and Brahma, in his turn, decimated his knowledge to his sons and disciples as he originally received it from the Lord. The Lord is Pranam, all perfect, and there's no possibility of his becoming subjected to the laws of material nature. One should therefore be intelligent enough to know that the Lord is the only proprietor of everything in the universe, and that he is the original creator, the creator of Brahma. The Lord is the proprietor. He owns everything. Everything is the Lord's. Okay? Nothing belongs to you, not even your body, not even anything. You don't have, nothing belongs to you. Absolutely nothing. Everything belongs to God. He's just letting you use it. He's letting you use your body. He's letting you use everything. He's letting you use his air. It's God's air. It's not your air. It's God's water. It's not your water. Okay. The Lord is Purnam, all perfect. And there is no possibility of his being subjected to the laws of material nature. One should therefore be intelligent enough to know that the Lord is the only proprietor of everything in the universe, and that he is the original creator, the creator of Brahma. In the 11th chapter, the Lord is addressed as Prapti Tamaha, because Brahma is addressed as Pitamaha, the grandfather, and he is the creator of the grandfather. So no one should claim to be the proprietor of anything. One should accept only things which are set aside for him by the Lord as his quota for his maintenance. There are many examples given of how we are to utilize those things which are set aside for us by the Lord. This is also explained in the Bhagavad Gita. In the beginning, Arjuna decided that he should not fight in the battle of Kurukshetra. This was his own decision. Arjuna told the Lord that it was not possible for him to enjoy the kingdom after killing his own kinsmen. The decision was based on the body because he was thinking of that the body was himself, and that his body relations or expansions were his brothers, nephews, brothers-in-laws, grandfathers, and so on. He was thinking in this way to satisfy his bodily demands. Bhagavad Gita was spoken by the Lord just to change the view, and at the end, Arjuna decides to fight under the direction of the Lord when he says, Karishye vachanam tava, I shall act according to thy word. So Arjuna was identifying with his body, which like most people do. You probably do too. You might not admit it, but you identify so much with your body. You think you're a man, you think you're a woman, you think you're black, you think you're white, you think you're Asian, you think you're Indian, whatever. You're really identifying with your body and the byproducts of your body, like your kids, your family. So many people are so much in the bodily concept of life, but they won't even admit it. If you think you're a man or a woman or an Indian or white or black, you're in the bodily conception of life. That's just your body. It's not you. Okay, so Arjuna was in the bodily conception of life. That's why he was like, that's why he was that's why he was lamenting, because he was in the bodily conception of life, right? He was thinking like, I'm the body, and Krishna's like, no, you're not the body. Okay, so in this world, man is not meant to toil like hogs. You're not meant to toil like hogs. Toil, what is that? What does that mean? Like mess around like hogs? Toil. I gotta look up that word. I don't know that word. Toil. He must be intelligent to realize the importance of human life. I guess like behave like talk. You're not supposed to behave like an animal, like a hog. He must be intelligent to realize the importance of human life and refuse to act like any ordinary animal. A human being should realize the aim of his life, and his direction is, this direction is given in all Vedic literatures, and the essence is given in Bhagavad Gita. Vedic literature is meant for human beings, not for animals. Yeah, animals can't read the Bhagavad Gita. Last time I checked, if you're an animal, you can't read the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. It's so rare to have a human birth, guys. It's like we don't realize it. We think it's like common. It's not common. It's very rare. Like I think there's what 800 million or billion species of life. I forgot the number, but like out of all those species of life, there's only 400,000. Like I think let's just say it's 800 million. Okay, I think it's 800 million species of life, and out of all those, there's only 400,000 humans. And like out of those humans, some humans are like crude. They're like live in the jungles. And they can't even talk, and they're like throwing spears and stuff, uncivilized. Okay, so like it's very rare to have a human birth, guys. If you have a human birth and you're not taking advantage of it to be Krishna consciousness, well, you're sabotaging yourself. Vedic literature is meant for human beings, not for animals. Animals can kill other living animals, and there's no question of sin on their part. But if a man kills an animal for the satisfaction of his uncontrolled taste, he must be responsible for breaking the laws of nature. Yeah, that's powerful. See, guys? See, animals can kill other animals because that's their nature, right? Because that's part of material nature. There's no sin, right? But if a human being kills an animal for just so they can enjoy the taste, then that's a sinful. You're going to get the reaction for that. People can't understand this. This is a big problem. This is a big problem that people don't see. A lot of people have cognitive dissonance, right? Like they say they love animals. They say they love animals, and they say they love animals, and then they eat them. That's cognitive dissonance. They don't even realize what they're doing. It's crazy. It's like that's what that is. Okay, you say you love animals, but then you eat them, so you don't really love the animals. Okay, that's like saying you love your children and then you eat them. It's the same exact thing. Okay, there's no difference. A living being is a living being. Yeah, your children are more conscious. That's all. But like animals are conscious too. Because if you try to hurt a dog or a cow or whatever, it's going to cry, it's going to run, it's going to scream, it's going to try to get away from you. Okay, this is the reality. Now this is hard for people to like. People are so addicted to their meat eating. I mean, I grew up in America. I understand. I grew up eating meat because that's just how I was raised. It wasn't like my choice. I just grew up like that. But then once I read Bhagavad Gita, I probably read this. As soon as I started reading things like this, that's when I stopped eating meat. Okay, because I just wasn't aware, right? So it wasn't even my fault. I just wasn't even aware of it. But once you hear it, if you hear this and then you continue eating meat, that's sick. That's just gross. Okay, animals can kill other. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly explained that there are three kinds of activities according to the different modes of nature. The activities of goodness, of passion, and of ignorance. Similarly, there are three kinds of eatables also: eatables in goodness, passion, and ignorance. All of this is clearly described, and if we properly utilize the instruction of Bhagavad Gita, then our whole life will become purified, and ultimately we will be able to reach the destination which is beyond this material sky. This material world is a place of miseries. It doesn't matter what you say it is. It's a place of miseries, birth, death, old age, and disease. It's a prison house. This is a prison house. This is a place of punishment for the rebellious souls. You're a rebellious soul. That's why you're here. You didn't want to, you didn't want to cooperate with Krishna. You didn't want to cooperate. So that's why you're here. That's why I'm here too. We're in the same boat, my friends. The definition is called Sanatan sky, the internal spiritual sky. In this material world, we find that everything is temporary. It comes into being, stays for some time, produces some byproducts, dwindles, and then vanishes. That is the law of the material world. Whether we use as an example this body or a piece of fruit or anything. But beyond this temporary world, there's another world of which we have information. This world consists of another nature with Sanatan, eternal. Jiva is also described as Sanatan, eternal, and the Lord is also described as Sanatan in the 11th chapter. We have an intimate relationship with the Lord, and because we are all qualitatively one, the Sanatan Dham, or sky, the Sanatan Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the Sanatan living entities, the whole purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to revive our Sanatan occupation. Sanatan Dharma, which is the occupation of the living entity. That's our Dharma, our occupation, our duty. Well, our ultimate duty is to serve Krishna. Okay, how do we serve Krishna? Well, we serve Krishna by chanting and dancing in this age. In Kali Yuga, the number one activity that you can do is Harinam Sankirtan. Okay, it's the number one activity to do. I don't care what your spiritual guru, I don't care what your guru says, I don't care what your temple authorities say. The number one activity in this world is Harinam Sankirtan. So if your guru or your temple authority is discouraging you from doing Harinam Sankirtan, you can tell them they are wrong, and you can go out and Harinam Sankirtan. You have my blessings. We are temporarily engaged in different activities, but all of these activities can be purified when we give up all these temporary activities and take up the activities which are prescribed by the Supreme Lord. That is called our pure life. Okay. The Supreme Lord and his transcendental abode are both Sanatan, as are the living entities. And the combined association of the Supreme Lord and the living entities in the Sanatan abode is the perfection of human life. Okay. So, yeah, that's the perfection of human life, is to associate with God, is to be in the spiritual world. If you achieve that, then you've achieved perfection. That should be the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal for you should not be like just to make money or, get a college degree or get a family or have a nice career, which is all temporary. You're going to lose everything. You're going to lose all your money. You're going to lose your family. You're going to lose your career. So all of that's temporary. So that's why you should go for what's eternal, right? His Divine Grace preface. I'm going to read from Krishna book. Krishna book. Times it. Okay. Nivrita tasher pugiyamana babu bavav saraj trotra manu bira mat. Kautashma shloka gunanu vadat puman vrajyata pina pashu. In the Western countries, when someone sees the cover book of Krishna, pardon me, let me rewind. In the Western countries, when someone sees the cover of a book like Krishna, he immediately asks, who is Krishna? Maybe you're thinking, who is Krishna? Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There you go. That's Krishna. That's Krishna. Who is the girl with Krishna? Who is that girl with Krishna? That's Radharani, Srimati Radharani. Okay, that's Krishna's eternal consort. Okay, Radha Krishna. The immediate answer is that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who is Krishna? Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, how is that? Because he conforms in exact detail to the descriptions of the Supreme Being, the Godhead. In other words, Krishna is the Godhead because he is all attractive. That's the name. Krishna means all attractive. Okay. In other words, Krishna is the Godhead. He is all attractive. Outside the principle of all attraction, there is no meaning to the word Godhead. How is it one can be all attractive? First of all, if one is very wealthy, if he has great riches, he becomes attractive to the people in general. Yeah, right. People look up to people that make millions of dollars and billions of dollars in the material world. Similarly, if someone is very powerful, he also becomes attractive. And if someone is very famous, he also becomes attractive. Obviously, right? Obviously. You can see how people are so much attracted to these celebrities, right? Even in the Hare Krishna movement, you see like the most popular guru, people are like, oh, it's the most popular guru. It's like a celebrity. Or the most popular kirtan singers. It's the same thing, guys. It's the same principle. Just like in the material world, all the celebrities, the famous singers, the famous actors, people are attracted to them. In the Hare Krishna movement, all the famous famous gurus, the famous kirtan singers, they're treated like celebrities. Okay, let's be real. That's why I have no desire. Like, I have no desire to be a guru, even though I know just as much as pretty much any guru. I pretty much know the basics. Like Harinam Sankirtan's is the Yuga Dharma. Okay. See, some of these gurus don't even like promote. Like Ayanta Prabhu used to say, like, we have to put Harinam Sankirtan, public chanting and dancing, back in its rightful place of dignity. Okay. So many people in the Hare Krishna movement, they don't put Harinam Sankirtan first, right? So they're not really a guru. Like I used to say, if your guru doesn't encourage you to do Harinam Sankirtan, reject your guru. If your temple authority doesn't encourage you to do Harinam Sankirtan, reject your temple authority, which I did. I rejected all these people because they weren't teaching the real thing. Like they weren't. I rejected all these people and I don't feel bad about it. And a lot of these people that I rejected fell down in some way or another, Similarly, if someone is very powerful, he also becomes attractive. If someone is very famous, he also becomes attractive. And if someone is very beautiful or wise, beautiful like me, super beautiful. Just kidding. I mean, like compared to the demigods, guys, we're not beautiful. Like compared to like the demigods and the spiritual world, like we're not beautiful. Hate to break it to you. Now, relative beauty, like, okay, like we're comparing ourselves to people in this world, but like other worlds, we're not beautiful, guys. Or wise or unattached. Okay, so he becomes attractive, and if someone is very beautiful or wise or unattached to all things of possessions, he also becomes attractive. Okay, so if someone's unattached to like material possessions, he's attractive, renounced. That's why these sannyasis, they're so renounced, even though a lot of these sannyasis have more money than you do. They have more opulence than you do, because that's how it works, right? In the Hare Krishna movement, the gurus are treated like gods, and like you're supposed to treat the guru like God, right? Just like Srila Prabhupada, you're supposed to treat the guru like God. So, Srila Prabhupada would, and all these gurus, their disciples give them all this money, and sometimes they misuse their power and their scandals and stuff. But like the gurus are supposed to be treated like God. So a lot of these gurus have more money than you do. They have more money than me do. Some of these gurus are like, they have a lot of money, guys. They have a lot of opulence. They're wearing the best clothes. They're riding in the best cars. Okay, they have the best stuff. They have the best houses. They have big bank accounts because people are trying to follow the principle of treat gurus like God. Now, if they misuse that opulence and if they don't use it to serve Krishna, then then they're going to have to deal with that. They're going to have to deal with the sinful reactions to that. But if they're pure-hearted and they're using everything, even their opulences, if they're using it in Krishna service, then it's okay. So from practical experience, okay, I'm done. I read my books. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Radhe Sham. Let's chant some Hare Krishna. Very simple. Very simple. I'm just going to keep it simple. Like I can learn pretty much any melody I want, but simplicity. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gora Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gaur Premanandi Adibol Jai Jai Radhe Sham. Hare Krishna. Chant Hare Krishna, be happy. Go on Harinam Sankirtan. Let's go.